blow your horn, get your praise party on. I know you're doing it for Jesus on this morning, fam. Listen up. I have with me this sensational gospel singer, Shana Wilson Williams. How are you, Shana?
I am well. Thank you so much for having me.
I am so excited about having you on the Markeita Williams show.
Yes, I'm so honored.
I tell you, I am just loving your new single. It's in the room. My God.
Oh. Thank you so much, Markeita. You know, that song is just really blowing my mind. I didn't expect my testimony to bless so many people. And when I say my testimony, I believe It's in the Room is definitely my testimony for this season.
Well, tell us about how this song come about. Give us the backdrop.
Okay, so the long story short, I literally birthed this song giving birth to my first son, RJ. And I was scheduled to have, my natural birth. Ladies, we prepare for our natural birthing place in our natural time, but that did not happen. They told me his heart rate kept dropping, and I had to have an emergency C-section. And so as I got done praying with my family before I got wheeled into the operating room, I heard the Lord tell me I'm in the room. And so I began to just hum, "It's in the room." And I kept singing it over and over. And I told my husband, I said, I have a song from the Lord. And he was like, right now? I was like, yes, this is my time to be at peace. And so through that time, my son came, and I actually recorded the song 2 years later on my new project that's coming out in March. And I'm just so excited that the song has blessed so many people, not just women that have gone through birthing problems or birthing issues or complications, but people that have, somebody told me the other day that they started chemotherapy, and turns out they had been playing the song over and over through therapy, and they don't have to have as many chemotherapy sessions. So I'm just so, so, so grateful that the song has been blessing people all over the world.
I tell you, when I heard this song, it brought me to tears. And I mean, it's just a worship that is so inspiring, and it is uplifting to know that God is there in the room. It doesn't matter what room you're in, whether it's in the operating room or in the courtroom or
yes.
Whatever situation. Oh my gosh, He is right there. I tell you, this song is a phenomenal song, Shana. Oh my God.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
How did you come to this point in your life? There are so many gospel artists around the world, here in the United States, in our country, in so many places that have not made it to where you are. So tell us your backstory. How did you get to this point in your life?
I often tell people that I did not prepare for this place that I'm in. Gratefully, I was prepared, but I honestly did not prepare for it. Being a pastor's kid my entire life kind of steered me to this moment in my life, just being able to know how to deal with people, understand people, know how to be on time, know how to be, just everything prepared me for my career. And I grew up in church, and I always was a choir girl, but I never was a soloist until about 2007. Our worship leader at the time at our church, he decided that, God had something else for him, and he decided not to show up on Sunday morning. And so my father literally was like, okay, I can't trust anybody else but you because you're my daughter. And I was like, what? Sing a solo, sing praise and worship? No. And
wow.
I didn't understand that he was literally forcing me into my destiny. And
wow.
I didn't know it. I just grasped hold of it. I'm the only person in my family that has any kind of musical ability. Nobody else plays or sings. My parents, they say that they can sing, but pastors think that they can sing all the time. And my sister swears I get my singing from her, but she's just an entrepreneur. So we thank God for the gift, and I'm just so grateful for the journey. God literally placed it in my hands, and I've treated it as it's a delicate baby my entire career. And so I'm just grateful that the Lord has given it to me, and I am here today because of him.
Oh, that is so awesome, so awesome. It sounds like you were just really birthed into this thing,
I really was.
Yeah, and that's amazing because, there's so many, there's so many worship leaders and singers that are, you know, in a place where they're not comfortable, you know, or don't know what the next step is. And your father seeing what was in you has pushed you to that place, you know, where
Yes.
that you are today, and it's amazing.
Yes,
Now,
and I always tell people it's so important to instill God into your children before they can even speak. My father, now he did tell me that while I was a baby, he would always keep me and play all kinds of gospel and Christian music. I grew up from Ron Canoli to CeCe Winans to Vicki Winans to the Clark sisters. I mean, all over the board, and they would pray over me. So I definitely believe they had an influential hand in my career.
right, awesome, awesome. Now, what is the atmosphere for praise and worship leaders today? You know, because there are so many, like I said, out there that need guidance. So, what can you tell the worship leaders of today? I mean, where is the niche? Where is the Spirit of God saying to the leaders of today?
I believe that the Spirit of God is basically trying to awaken us as an individual before we can try to awaken anybody else's spirit. I told someone yesterday that through 7 years now, it's been almost 8 years since I released my first project, well, my second project, I Love You, with the song Give Me You on it, Never Be the Same. And since that album, I hadn't put out any music. People tried to say, you know, they're going to forget about you if you don't put music out. You got to get music out. But I wanted to get whole for myself first. I wanted to understand, why was I asking God to give me you? Why was I telling God that I would never be the same? And I had to really allow my songs to manifest in my own life. And so I believe that the presence of God will become evident in our lives when we lay down our lives for him. And so people always ask me, how do you invite people into this sanctuary of yours? And it's just always that my sanctuary is always activated every day. I'm always welcoming God wherever I am. I'm at Secretary of State sitting outside of the building right now waiting to go in. And I was just beginning to worship before I talk to you, because I have to understand that I'm going to encounter somebody in 2 seconds that I've never encountered. And in that 2 seconds, I have to make an impact on their lives. And so it's not just when we have a microphone in our hands that our impact is made known, but it's the private time. It's the time where we run into people at the gas station, or we run into people that, you know, are on the street. We have to understand that our earthly relationships are just as important as our spiritual relationship with our Father. And so I believe that when we encounter and master that, that's when God can really manifest and do what he can and will do when we have the microphone.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That is some wonderful advice, because, you know, as I keep saying, there's so many worship leaders and so many churches that are trying to get to a place of real worship, you know, true worship. They want the Spirit of God. They want to be led into a place of worship, and that's the job of the worship leader. So it's an everyday thing. Yes. So, Shana, I know worship seems to be evolving. So what can you say that worship is going? I mean, you said where it is now, but is there a sense of worship going to another level, or what could you say about that?
I can definitely see a yearning for the young generation. They are really on fire for God. We might see that some of them may be lost, but they are really on fire for God, and they love God, and they yearn for him. But they are at a point where they don't need the hoopla. They don't need the fake stuff. They don't need, come on, put your hands together. They don't need none of that. They just want to experience his presence. They want to experience crying before the Lord. And so I believe worship is really going to a place that is new and is fresh, and its selflessness is not about the one person that has a microphone, but it's about a corporate sound. And I believe that it's manifesting now, and where it shall be within the next 10 years, I think it's going to be great.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. What's next for you? I mean, you got this new song, and you told us the new album is coming out here in March. What's next for Shana? Where are you going?
You know, I have so many things going on right now that I'm so excited. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry about that. I have so many great adventures and businesses that I'm opening and starting, and God has allowed me to network and connect with some great people that I will believe help manifest that. But I'm really excited about this new project. After 8 years, God has given me a album called Everlasting, and it basically is just me showing God that I appreciate him for never changing and never leaving me. And so this project I know will be a blessing to the body of Christ. And not just the body of Christ, but I have some songs on there that I know will reach the person that it has not stepped foot in the church in maybe 10 years. And so I'm just really excited about this project and what it shall do and what it shall accomplish in the people's lives that shall hear it. And, yeah, it's coming out in March. We don't have an exact date. We are letting the single do what it does best, and God has really been blessing it. It has debuted #1 on the gospel digital charts, and so I'm so excited about the music and that the people did not forget about Shana Wilson Williams during this time of just getting it together.
That is so awesome. We love you, Shana. We love what you're doing and the music that God has given you and the message that God is sending through you. How can people reach you if they want you for their next event or concert or church or worship service? How can they reach you?
There's actually simple ways that they can reach me. If they go to my website at www.shanawilson.com, they can click on the booking tab or contact, or an easier way, they can email ShanaWilsonBooking, singular, at gmail.com, ShanaWilsonBooking@gmail.com, or they can call us at 859-474-2629.
Awesome. You heard it from the lady herself, praise and worship leader, awesome woman of God, Shana Wilson Williams. Go and get it today. It's in the room. You will not regret it. It's
go get it.
You. Anything else you'd like to share with my listening audience before we finish up, Shana?
You guys just be encouraged and know that God is with you, and no matter how long you think you've been in that storm or that test, it's going to pass, and it will not last always. I am a living witness that whatever you need is in the room. So whatever your room is, you make God the center of it, and whatever you need will show up. And so just be encouraged and go get the single. Bless somebody with it if you already have it. Help me get the word out that God is here and God is answering prayers even today.
Awesome. You guys stay locked in right here with the Markeita Williams Show. We